All right, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to a brand new episode of With a Side of Chaos. This is Patricio, aka Rocky, and I gotta say this: I took a break this past week from social media. Well, a little baby tiny break from social media, but I disconnected from the world and I went out into the wilderness. I went out to Cumberland Island this past weekend, out off the coast of Georgia, to just go camping and to kind of just like break away, because I feel like I don't know if I was like on the verge of a mental breakdown or if I was just about to snap or whatnot. But I took a break and it was, honest to God, so relaxing. I came back to Orlando yesterday, and sure enough, I found myself back in this chaos because I swear to God, it either follows me or I can't get away from it. But welcome once again to a brand new episode. I am Patricio. I am by myself tonight because Aaron had to do some shit, and totally understandable. And honest to God, this interview, I'm kind of glad it's just myself and the guest, because I've known her for probably about 2 years, if not more, but I've talked very little with her. I don't know that much about her outside of what she does and maybe one or two bump ins in downtown. But the reason I have the young woman here in front of me on the show today is because she was recently nominated by Orlando Weekly for Best Local Style. Is it stylist or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stylist. Hairstylist.
Best
whatever.
local hairstylist by Orlando Weekly 2022. And I was going through the ballot and I remember seeing her name. I'm like, oh shit, let me hit her up. Let me congratulate her. And I'm bringing her on right now on the screen. And we are welcoming Nina Clancy. Now, am I saying it right?
Yeah, Clancy.
Clancy. Okay. Now, Nina, how long have you been in the field of like hairstyling or just,
So we're coming on like 5 years.
okay.
Yeah.
And what got you into that? Because
Honestly, it was like not a planned thing. I went to college first for like graphic design, like some minoring in film and editing. That's
Really?
something I enjoy to do as well, but I wasn't focused at all at the time in college. So I was just kind of like, oh, I'm not going to do this anymore. And then, yeah, so I was like at a point where I'm like, what am I good at? And I kind of always did my friend's hair, and my aunt's also a hairstylist, so I was around it, I guess I should say. So I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go to hair school. And then it accidentally was my passion. That's basically what happened. I was really good at it, and yeah, that's like.
Now, let me ask you this, because the area of graphic design, editing, film, whatever. I mean, it's a good career. But like, what was the shift? Like, because you said like you weren't focused on it, or like, what was the breaking point? And you're like, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore.
I guess just like that time in my life, I was distracted by other things that we don't need to get into all that, because I was like, might hurt some feelings. But yeah, so I was just not focused on school, and I wasn't finding like a lot of passion in that. It's something I do like, but
now do you still do like a little bit of?
I do on the side.
Okay.
I created my own logos or like random little jobs.
That's you?
Yeah, that logo's me. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Yo, kudos on that.
I got some skills. And then I've done some like social media management now, because the form of editing I can do now is like for reels and all of that, just for extra cash or whatever. But
no, that it's a skill that, honest to God, in this day and age, stuff that like, we were playing around with probably like 4 or 5 years ago, is now like it's one of the leading careers.
Yeah,
now.
and at the time, I mean, that wasn't really a thing. So if I was going to do like editing and film and whatnot, I'd have to be like in the movies.
Now, in regards to like editing and film, like, did you want to be part of like the creative process, or just like the post-production?
I like a bit of both. I mean, I did all of it. I was even like a thespian and all of that little jazz.
Really?
Little Broadway stuff. I gave up my search for fame, and
I don't want
to practical.
I don't want this to come out the wrong way. Like, I don't see you as a theater person.
Oh, absolutely. I'm a dork. I love that shit. I still love that shit. And occasionally I'll blast some songs.
All right.
And I'm not going to do that right now.
Well, I'm not going to tell you to blast.
You're not making me sing.
I'm not going to make you sing, but I want to ask you, like, what, like, from the past, let's say 20 years, like, what's your favorite musical?
Ooh, that's tough. I mean Hamlet. I'm not Hamilton,
Okay.
not Hamlet. I'm like, that's all right. Hamilton. That one's really, really good. I've seen that. Wicked, I like a lot.
Of course, of
Really good
course.
one. The one that I competed with is like Hairspray.
Ooh.
So we did like a couple songs from that.
Okay.
And that was like 8th and 9th grade.
As I was driving back from Georgia yesterday, I was listening to the Hamilton soundtrack.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
sometimes
he's so good.
it's still
insane.
good. It's insane. And I'm listening to the song. I'm screaming. I'm singing the song out loud. I got the windows down. I got the road in front of me, and I don't know what came over me, but when the song "The Room Where It Happens" came on,
Yeah,
I heard it, and then I'm like, I want to hear it again, and I put it like probably 3 or 4 times back to back.
yeah.
And the way that I heard the song, I kind of had an epiphany, and it was like, holy shit! Was Alexander Hamilton basically playing the entire? Was he playing the country? Was he playing like? Was he manipulative, or was he just like he knew what he was doing to get what he wanted? Because once you think about it, like it really didn't matter.
The more you dig into that, I know it can.
It fucks with you, right?
Yeah, it does. I'm like, yeah, because I have me thinking about it. I'm like, I need to listen to it again.
Yeah.
I'm like, obviously my brain cells are running low at the moment because I just said Hamlet, but I swear I'm smart. I just had a long weekend.
And I didn't want to call you on that shit, but like, okay, Hamlet, I mean, that's a great play.
Hamlet's not a musical, Nina.
But Hamlet is a play.
Yeah, I know. I know. I was close. I was in the right field.
So let's get back into it. So in regards to like, okay, your aunt was the one who was like, into hairstyling and all that stuff, but like, what was like?
It also was a mix of like, I had my hair fucked up so many times.
Really?
Like I don't know if it was just like my luck, and it was like multiple places and all of that, and I was like, why does everyone suck at this? I know I could be good at this, because it just made sense to me even without the schooling part.
Mm-hmm.
And naturally I'm like very artistic, so I could.
So were you just like not happy in the way like the salon? What's the proper term? I want to say this properly. The person doing your hair, the stylist. The stylist.
Yeah.
So were you not happy in the way the stylist was doing your hair, or?
Oh yeah, I mean, I had like lopsided haircuts, like really bad highlights, just like not done correctly. Now that I know how to do it, I'm like unsure why no one else seemed to, but I think that was my luck. But it is hard. It's not easy.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot harder than people realize. It's hard on your body, and it's like, I mean, you can't really go backwards with that. So you have to, it's like one and done. I mean, you can fix color a bit, but you could really mess people up.
Now, I've always wondered this because when I go to the bar, I very rarely go to a barber because I usually just like shaving my head.
Yeah.
But when the barber has the stylist, barber, whoever, they have a role that not like it's like the bartender or the cab driver. Like they're for some odd reason, like the way they talk to you is therapeutic. Like you're able to open up to them, and like
I don't know what it is about when you're getting your hair done. You just feel like you could tell them anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been in the situation where I rarely get my hair done because it's hard for us to find time for each other. But even in those moments, I'm like, there is something about sitting here, and then I just want to pour my life out to you.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the thing. I don't know. I guess we're just welcoming. Well, I always tell people as well, like finding a stylist that you like it's like dating.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have to have that relationship as well as like my skills, because otherwise it's like not gonna work.
It's definitely not. Now, mind you, every time that I've gone to a barber, and I've had my fair share of like, you know what, I don't like it. I'm not a fan of this. I just went home and just shaved it all off.
Yeah.
But like a woman can't do that.
No, you're just gonna go home and cry, and then try to figure out how you're gonna fix it. Because I've been in that situation, and luckily I've never done that to anyone else that I know of. If I have, sorry, but I'm pretty confident that no.
But okay, so I've heard some of my female friends always complain, like when they leave the salon and they're now with they're at home, they dried it up, they've done all this, I don't know what they do to it, but they do something to the hair.
Do things.
They do stuff to the hair, and they're like, I don't like it. And everyone else, like myself, my boys, everyone's like, no, you look great. You look great. The compliment is never taken.
I
Why
mean,
is that?
it's very, I mean, women are hard to please in general. I
Yeah.
think people. So I think it can be a mix of two things. Sometimes it actually is okay, the hair is just not what they want. I find a lot of my clients that I have and keep,
Mhm.
they are they tell me that like a style, they don't listen. Like other people don't really listen to what you're saying you want.
Okay.
I'm very good at like if you show me something and tell me what you want, I'm gonna accomplish that and give you what you want. I'm making sure to go over everything like exponentially because I want to make you happy. I take it very seriously. I'm not cool with failure. So I fucking hate losing. So I'm like, I will do this right. Yeah, I mean, there's been very few times where I had someone that wasn't happy. And if they weren't, then I'll stay back and even move shit around and not let you leave.
Yeah.
Like other people, I do a lot of color corrections and I'm like, I can't even believe like you let this person walk out like this.
Because every person that like sits in your chair, like that's your canvas.
Yeah. And you just like, and that's a reflection on you. I'm not gonna let you walk out if it looks like shit. There's times where I've been like, I don't like this, and they don't even notice. And I'm like, no, I have to do this.
Really?
I have to do something else.
Oh, snap.
But that's just, I'm a perfectionist. I think that's
No, and I think like that's what brings your clientele. Like if the person who loves what they're doing and like has a strong passion about it, like you just said, like you've seen a style that you just don't like and you want to fix it. I mean that's kind of rare to hear from a stylist.
Yeah, I see that. I don't know why.
I can't even imagine like the kind of pressure that as a female hairstylist, not like that, but like someone who works specifically on women and all their hair. It's one, I know it's not easy.
No.
Two, and it's not cheap.
No, it's not.
I hear the numbers that women pay for their hair, and I'm just like, holy shit.
It gets really crazy. And I'm surprised even sometimes. I'm like, yeah, I don't know how you do it. Thank you, but I don't know. Like this is crazy.
So do you actually treat your own hair, or do you have a stylist?
So I mean, usually it's more of like we'll do trade. Like one of my friends from the salon, I'll do their hair and then they do mine.
Oh, okay.
There's like a couple people that do it, but I'll do like the easy things. Like toner, basically just tone it. I don't really highlight my own hair. Some people do.
Okay.
I just would rather not mess it up, so I'm just gonna wait for someone else. That's a whole different angle system. I could do the front. I wouldn't manage to be able to do the back of it.
No, I give you props for that. And I give props to anyone who's in the hairstyling business because there is so much pressure right there because the person's, sitting down and they're giving you, they're in a very vulnerable state at that point.
Yeah, for sure.
And
it's kind of scary. Like I could ruin your life for like 6 months. I'm not going to do that, but I could.
I could destroy you just with one snip.
No. So you have to be nice to us, I guess.
Yeah, no, and I'm sure like have you witnessed not like yourself in particular, but like either at a salon that you've worked at or this current one, like where someone was just like beyond pissed?
Maybe very few times, but there are times where you just get crazy people though too. I think it's more of like someone is having something internally go on and they think that their hair is going to be the answer to all their problems. Mm-hmm. So you have to realize like they're not going to be happy anyways.
Oh,
you get a lot of that. So it's like, I'm not the problem, you are, but I'm going to make you feel like I'm the problem.
There's a reason why there's a mirror in front of you. Yeah. Look at yourself this whole time.
Yeah, like, so you get that sometimes, but yeah, I think I've only had like maybe one instance where like someone was like just being really crazy and mad. And it wasn't anything that I did. It was just like unrealistic expectations.
Damn.
Which is like a lot of people have that.
I know for a fact that like I don't have the best hair because I have the curly, thick, and I have to let it grow for a while to be able to do like, nice styles and stuff like that. And I'm glad that I'm 6'2", then 250 pounds. Like I'm a big dude, so I can pull off the bald look or.
Yeah, you look great.
You can't say shit because I'll beat your ass if you say anything about my hair. But let me ask you this, because I've always said I've said this joke for a while, and I heard it from a TV show. I'm not bald.
You choose to be bald?
I purposefully choose to be bald. I go with
I love it.
with a single blade, and
This is a decision.
I identify as a bald man.
Yeah.
And a buddy of mine was like kind of pissed off one day where he's like, I hate that you're able to shave your head
Yeah.
whenever you want, and it grows back like a fucking chia pet.
No, you are blessed, because a lot of people are going bald.
It's stress.
Like, it sucks. Yeah. I wish there was something I could do about that. I don't have the answer for that. I'd be filthy rich and probably not here. But yeah, no, it's so.
So let me ask you this: how long have you actually been a professional stylist?
So like behind the chair on my own, like 5 years.
Okay.
Coming up on 5 years in October. So not like too long, but good amount of time.
Now I remember meeting you through a mutual friend of ours.
Yeah.
Now my question is like, did you ever treat his hair or?
No. Never did his hair.
It was just friendship.
Yeah, just someone I had met.
Okay.
He did go to our salon, but he went to someone else. So I just like in passing.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Good dude right there. So every time that you and I have had a communication, you are I think you are busy, way busier than myself, because
sometimes
in my circle, people are like, how do you do this? How do you do that? You, however, you like fucking travel. You do a lot of shit with like your skill.
Yeah. So I do like makeup and hair as well for weddings.
Okay.
Which that's like more recent. I've been doing a lot more of that. That brings me where I'm like traveling around and not here as much. Sometimes I'm just traveling to travel.
Yeah. And sometimes like you need that travel just to get the hell
for work. Yes. for always for work. Let's just say that.
No, I'm gonna say like that glare looks great on you. The glare, it's
like a filter.
It's like,
oh my god, angelic. I love it.
But no, that's actually something I want to talk to you about, because as you were walking in, you were telling me that you just got back from out of town.
Yeah, which that was just like for the holiday. I was like taking a break.
And I think like once in a while, like we need that break.
Oh, for sure.
Because I see a stylist or a barber as a very social person. Yeah,
it's draining. I mean, I tell people this a lot. Growing up, I was like naturally pretty introverted, and I would always just like force my being extroverted, because everything I like to do, you have to be like not a shy person.
Yeah.
So I like bartended and served first for years. That really like got me out of my little shell and able to like approach people confidently and not feel like I'm having a panic attack.
Now that's a bit strange when, someone who is extrovert and, introvert, and then, making the switch to extrovert.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people can do that.
No, I know. I don't know. I'm very headstrong, and I know to be successful, or it does say in what I was wanting to do, I have to be outgoing, which is like, I've always had the personality. I just like dreaded first approaches, like that opening.
You hated breaking the ice.
Yeah. Like that was so hard for me. Now like I said earlier, I just like can't shut up. I've become a talker, we were talking about earlier.
No, and that's necessary in your field.
Yeah.
When someone sits in your chair, you're going to be with them for like what, a minimum 2 hours?
Sometimes 5.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, not even.
I can't stand my friends for more than 3 hours. How are you going to stand a total stranger?
If it's like a lot of hair and like a full color correction or like balayage service, yeah, you're there like 4.5, 5 hours.
Oh, Jesus.
It's a lot. So you're like, thinking about your skill as well as like entertaining. So it's like a whole social aspect.
Wow.
So that's like why you're so drained, I feel like, after too. Like sometimes after I have to like just be in silence while I drive home, and then I go home and sit there.
Damn.
In silence. I'm like,
I never thought about that.
And so many people. And then I'm like still at a growing point. So I meet so many people.
Yeah.
Then that's a whole, you're restarting every second. But it's made me, it's a really good skill to have. I can go like make friends with the wall now. I'm like, I can be anyone's best friend.
Well, No, it's incredible, and I really wish like what you just said right there in regards to going from an introvert to an extrovert. Like I wish we could like break that down because there's some people who spend all their lives, behind the door, and being that introvert when they're able to open up to like certain people, but
Yeah.
because of that mentality, like it limits them in their not only their success, but their social skills, their
Oh.
mental health, and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about your mindset, though.
Mhm.
It's like, and that I guess is hard for people to control. I'm just someone that's something I want full control. Like, so, and I like to, I want to grow and I want to be better. So I'm constantly having to tell myself whatever it is, whether it's, you know,
Now you just said something in regards to like you want to be in control.
yeah.
I've noticed this because I one of my ex-girlfriends was a bartender.
Mhm.
And before that, one of my ex-girlfriends was going to school for psychology.
Okay.
So I picked up a lot of things from her that I've applied to, my current relationships, past, all that stuff, and just social mental skills. But one thing I've noticed about bartenders is like they have to have control.
Yeah, yeah, you have to, or it's gonna be like a shit show.
Yeah, exactly. Because like whether you're behind the bar, you're serving the drinks, whatever, like you have to control, 40, 50 people, depending
And I
on.
guess I don't mean like when I say control, like I don't like not controlling people, but being in control of myself and my own thoughts and like
Yeah.
making sure I'm doing everything in my power to be better,
Hmm.
even if that makes me uncomfortable. Like that's where,
Well, that's a good take on that.
yeah, like, that's what I mean with that. Like I don't want to. I mean,
No, you're not a
I
control
guess
freak.
sometimes, but
Come on, Nina, be honest. You're a control freak, aren't you?
No, I'm really bad. I guess it depends who you ask, but I'm like, I just like mean in my mind and myself, and I don't want limitations. I don't want to be set back because of something stupid like my mental, which I know is hard for people, but it's something I work on.
No, and like
And it's
like we were talking about, like sometimes we need that disconnect. I got out of town and I went camping by myself.
well, that's great.
Uh,
Sounds nice, actually.
it actually was. I went to St. Augustine, and then I went to Cumberland Island off the coast of Georgia,
Mhm.
and I hiked probably about in the span of a weekend over 22 miles
Wow.
on foot, and then there were a few miles here or there on my bike. But it was so liberating to like, because at one point my charger wasn't working on my phone,
Mhm.
because I had some water damage, and my phone was dead, and I was in the middle of the forest
Oh
with
my God.
no phone.
Shit.
It's raining, and I'm hearing squishy noises, and feet noises. I don't know what time of the night. And finally it stops raining, and I take off the cover because I'm like, I need to breathe because like it's too humid
Yeah,
in here.
yeah.
I take off the cover and I look up, and I tell you what, I had never in my life seen the sky so clear.
Oh yeah, that's I've camped a lot, and those moments are like, I love that. I love that so much. I don't think we take enough time to look up. I actually was just saying that this weekend. Like most of the time, even if you're walking through the city.
Yeah.
I was just in Charlotte. This is not my second time. I'm like really falling in love with that city, but they're like buildings in the city downtown, or they call it uptown. It's
Mhm.
just so pretty. And I was just like walking around. I'm like, I don't think you guys take time to look up at your city. Like it's just so pretty.
No, and I think we don't do that here either. Like,
Anywhere, like we're just so,
caught in the moment.
and we're caught in like technology and all of that. So most people are not looking at their surroundings anymore.
I think that do you know like your daily average of how long you're on the phone? Now, and I know you being a stylist,
Yeah.
you're not as on.
Well, it depends on the day because I still have to like post and do all that. I mean, lately I'm on it way more than I used to be, and it's probably too much. I mean, at least at night, especially, I don't sleep that well, so I try to not do this where you're just like stuck in that scroll
Yeah.
for hours. You're just like, I'm melting my brain. I need to stop and just put it down. So I've been trying to be conscious about like not doing that, but I'm sure I'm on it.
But like, no, there's just like so much to absorb on social media, whether it's because but let's go like 2 years back. There was that YouTube hole.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
rabbit hole of YouTube.
Yeah.
You'd start one video, and the next thing you know, you'd pass out and you're watching a video on birdhouses or so.
Yeah.
It was always like
You just get
a
lost.
weird algorithm, but now it's like it's even worse because you got TikTok.
And Instagram is like basically the same with all the reels.
Yeah,
You're
with the
just, like,
reels.
and it's targeting exactly what you want to see. So then I'm just
The algorithm behind it is insane because and I'm sure you've seen it where like you'll Google, no, not even Google something, you'll mention something to your friends,
oh yeah. It
and
shows you.
what shows up on your Insta?
Spies. I know. I know. It's not good. Plus, like I mean, now even being a hairstylist, it's like you're also an influencer because you have to constantly stay active on social media, or it's just not.
It's
That's like
exhausting.
the only way for you to like really be known.
But
Yeah, no, it is. It's a lot.
let me ask you this: like, what's your disconnect? Like, how does Nina unplug, or like, how do you let go from like the influencer, the
From
stylist, and
everything.
all that
I mean,
stuff?
I work out a lot. I always like incorporate like yoga or some form of like meditation and reading where I'm just like turning everything off and trying to just be present.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to be.
Now, do you think like that attributes to your mental health, or that just attributes to just like
my health and just I guess just general health and mental health.
And I think I say this on almost every episode where like we overlook mental health all the time.
Oh yeah.
And
it's like a major problem for most people.
I remember telling this to on a previous episode where when I was upset or I was sad as a child, my mother would always tell me, stop being sad. Just stop. There's I'll give you something to cry about kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it was always difficult to express yourself. Well, it was difficult for myself to express my emotions, my feelings, my sentiments, because I didn't have that avenue or that venue where I could express myself freely without, a sign of judgment.
Yeah, feeling like she's shutting it down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like there's more liberation in this day and age because like I feel, and I'm saying this as a 36-year-old guy, I feel like there's a lot more acceptance in this day and age.
For sure. I mean, it's definitely more a focal point. We focus on it more. Now I think it's becoming almost a problem with labeling it so much.
Okay.
Like for younger people, because that's like now everyone is just like, I'm this. I think if you identify, like, let's just say I have anxiety. If I say that every day, then that's what I become. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's good and bad. I like the acceptance and the openness about it, but I feel like we don't need to label everything as much because it almost makes it worse.
And you said something right there that kind of triggered me, and I kind of wanted to dive in on that in regards to like, identification. And it's cool. Hey, if you identify as this or that, you're okay in my book, as long as you're not hurting nobody, as long as you're not hurting yourself.
Yeah.
I don't care if you feel like you're the king of France.
Yeah.
If you identify as the king of France, okay, cool. Do you, boo boo. As long as you're still a contributing member to society, you're not hurting me, you're not hurting yourself. Do you? But at the same time, when we're like, we don't put labels, isn't identifying a label in a sense?
Yeah, but I don't know. That's a whole thing. That's a whole freaking rabbit hole where I'm like, I know it's hard. I just think we overdo it. I think anything in moderation is okay, but like when we're starting to like, that's everything, then that's when you have problems. That's all I was saying with that. I guess you have to label things to an extent.
I've always been accepting of labels because I've always had the mentality that like not everyone's going to be the captain of the football team. There are certain roles, there are certain labels that do still fall into place.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if there wasn't any like acknowledgement of,
I'm not saying not to acknowledge it. I just mean like the negative labels on yourself don't put any benefit.
Oh no.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I was just adding on to that, where if you don't identify, let me take this back, because I know I'm treading on thin ice with what I'm about to say. I intended on thin ice. I have always said that if you identify as whatever you identify as, then just stay true to it. Stay true to it.
I agree.
Because
Sure.
hey, there's some people that kind of like take advantage of that power nowadays.
Oh yeah. Which is gonna happen with anything. I don't know. There's always those people.
Oh, freaking those people.
Those ones.
So let me talk to you about this. You were not here in Orlando last night, were you?
No, I did see like a clip of whatever that was, but I wasn't quite sure if that was just like legitimate or was it fireworks going off that sounded like a gun.
So I was there. I was there in downtown Orlando last night,
Okay.
and we were at the garage right across from the Fifth Third Bank building, which is like right there on the corner of what do you call it? Lake Eola.
Okay.
And I'm gonna put it up on the screen because I want to talk about this real quick because earlier that day there was a shooting in Highland, Illinois.
Okay.
Now people keep saying Chicago. Well, look, there's a shooting in Chicago every fucking day, so that's besides the point. But we had there were probably maybe 20,000 people at Lake Eola last night.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to load this up. It's not. There we go. And we were up on the fourth floor of this. We were on the roof of this garage, and it was great because we overlooked everything. We saw we saw Robinson, we saw the lake, we saw everything. And I'm pulling this up right now, and this is basically me filling the gap. I think this is it. Yeah, here we go. So I'm about to put it up on the air. Oh, no, wrong one.
Apparently something happened downtown and everyone's running.
Let me put it up. Okay, so we got the audio. I'm about to put in the video, guys. Sorry about this. This is me working three things at once. But I do want to talk about this because this brings up a pretty good topic. And I mean, shit, we live in a day and age where, like, I'm sorry, there are a lot of shootings.
Mm-hmm.
And here, what we're watching right now is from the rooftop of the garage on Robinson and Roslyn.
Okay.
And we're looking down, and as you can see, like, the fireworks are still going off. And there are people who are running into the Fifth Third Bank.
What happened?
And we're trying to figure out because at one point it was like a funnel of people running. Yeah, and look at that. You have a beautiful fireworks show going on behind all the madness. And I think I'd pan the camera towards Rosalind in a second, and because this video is only a minute long. But yeah, you look like you got kids running across the street. There were people panicking. There were people, and we actually went out to the grass area. Oh, there we go. Look at that.
Oh God, I'm glad I wasn't. And not to say that, but I just like that's terrible.
No. We were actually a little scared right there because we didn't know what the hell was going on.
Yeah.
And of course, we're on the rooftop. We're screaming like, "What happened? What happened?" No one's saying nothing.
Respond, yeah.
But according to some sources, well, it's been confirmed that there was no shooter. There was no shooter. No one got shot. There was no anything of that nature. But apparently, someone had set off fireworks at the fireworks show, and someone thought it was the sound of a gun.
I just think everyone's like living in more fear because it keeps happening so much. So
now, let me ask you this: as an extrovert, as someone who is just as a big social dragon as me, if not bigger, do you feel like there's a construct a restriction in you being able to live your life, or do you still do it?
I'm the type that will just keep going. I mean, I don't have like a fear of death, to be honest. If I die, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We're all going to die. So I might as well just enjoy myself. Now, I'm not trying to like go do a bunch of crazy shit that's going to kill me. But no, I don't. I try not to let it interfere. I mean, I'm trying. And then also I'm like very aware of my surroundings at all times. I was raised like at a very young age to like always pay attention. My mom was like, when I was little, we'd be like, someone will take you and put you in their trunk. So you need to be aware. So that's basically how I grew up. And then now I'm like always like with my keys between my fingers, like, okay, with protection.
Jesus Christ.
But I'll still do stuff. I'm not gonna let it like interfere with my life.
Yeah, and here's the thing, like I know you and I we do music festivals.
Oh yeah. Oh
We
yeah.
and there's look, I've never had that fear of going to a music festival or a concert and like, oh, what if a shooter comes out?
Yeah, I
I've never
know.
had that.
I don't really think about it, but I mean, it gets brought up, I guess. But I feel like, don't they check? I guess you don't know though.
Yeah, well, that's
You
the thing.
don't
Like
know.
there are certain events that, like, yeah, okay, yeah, they're supposed to be checking, they're supposed to be doing this and that,
But there's ways around.
but
Yeah.
there's always a way around
Yeah.
it. Someone does something.
I mean, it really sucks. I wish we didn't have to think like that, but I still try not to like let that be the main thought in my mind.
Yeah,
It's like
and
whatever.
there are people in this day and age now that will not go out, that will
Yeah.
not, put themselves in heavily populated areas because of this fear.
I know people that are constantly living in. I mean, that's just like life is just scary though. So
Mm.
like
But let me ask
there's
you.
so much scary. So why let that interfere with the time that you have?
Well, let me ask you this: like, do you think that it's a legitimate fear, or is it just like a hyped fear that from what we see in the media all the time?
Maybe a mix of both, but I think legitimately there's bad people everywhere, and you're always gonna have to have something in the back of your mind that's could happen or could go wrong. But we're also like overly exposed to all negativity all the time. So then I don't really know actually. Maybe it isn't bad and it's the media and Netflix crime series because
Jesus Christ.
those just like make you think you're gonna die all the time.
I can't do those.
I don't watch that. No.
I had an ex who would watch it while I was asleep in the room, and I'm like, "Are you going to kill me in my sleep?"
Oh God. Yeah, no, I already like can make. I have a vivid imagination on my own. I don't need to like add to that. So I just would rather watch like something positive. I'm like, oh God, no.
So Nina, you being a stylist for 5 years, you expanding yourself out more, with bartending, with makeup and all that. Like, what's your drive that keeps you going with this?
I would just having success in something that makes me like truly happy. Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of other things that I could do probably to make more money faster or whatever, but it brings me a lot of peace. I like making people feel pretty, and you can find value in like even some of the small conversations I have daily, or I feel like there's definitely moments where I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm doing this person's hair, but I know that I've like planted a seed in someone or like gave them that moment to release something that they can't with somebody else, or I have a lot of that.
Now, like when these people are in your chair, and we kind of talked about this earlier with them being vulnerable. Like, I'm sure you hear like some hard hitting stories. Like,
For sure. Yeah. I mean, you get, and then I think I'm naturally attract people that like want to open up, or I make them feel comfortable. I don't know what it is. I definitely am like somewhat of an empath. I just like attract people that need help or want something like that. So yeah, definitely there's moments where it's like, okay, I'm a strong believer, like there's more reason for certain things. So
mhm.
I've crossed paths with people where I'm like, okay, I like needed to meet this person and let them have this moment, or like talk to them or whatever about this particular thing, which I won't like go into anyone's personal life, but yeah, it's stuff like that. Or even younger girls that I have, things like that. The kids are going through like a lot, and we always were, but I think things are way more intense and way more exposed. So I have some younger clients where I'm like, they're telling me things that they couldn't even like speak to their mom about or something.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay. And you find like peace in those moments, being able to like, I don't know, give them some positivity or whatever.
Because sometimes just like even talking about an issue, it helps.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I say it all the time. I'm like a therapist as well as a hairstylist. Like you get your like couple hours of therapy and your hair done.
Now, since I don't go to a barber as much, my therapy is, behind this microphone, talking to people, expressing myself through this art. And then like the conversations that I have with individuals, it's like, okay, maybe maybe I'm not as messed up as I am in the head. Maybe, you know, I'm seeing the world differently, and maybe this person sees it the same way I do, this or that. And I think like I've gotten to the point where my creativity has become my therapy. So whether it's a TikTok or the podcast or uh graphic designs with the flyers for all the events that I do, it's it's satisfying when you finally have that like finished product.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I I enjoy it because there's sometimes that I do get that satisfaction of like seeing those numbers go up and up on TikTok. I get,
Especially like something you've been working on and then you see the growth happening, like
yeah,
that's like super rewarding. I feel the same way. And then it just, I always said like for something about like doing hair and makeup and like having, that's like my form of help. Like I would never have been able to be like a nurse or like, I even thought about therapy, like, or some forms of psychology, which I couldn't carry people's energy like that all the time
hmm
because that's like a lot of negativity, at least in my job. Like sometimes you get those moments where it's serious and then other times it's just you're having
yeah.
fun conversations with really cool people.
Like
And
they're about to go on this trip
yeah, and you get
to
to just hear everybody's lives or whatever it is. I have like such a large demographic of people, so I get to experience all types of people, which
do you,
is it's fun.
do you feel like you ever get inspiration from your clientele?
Yeah, for sure.
Because I mean, you're the one who's, you know, molding them. You're the one who's making them. How would I say it? Like I don't want to say improving them, but like
Yeah, like
boosting them up.
yeah, giving them that like confidence to continue doing
Mm.
whatever it is that they
That's
do.
the word. I forgot confidence. God
Confidence.
damn it, man. Come on.
Giving them confidence for sure. And sometimes you can like literally see that transformation happen. Like you come in kind of like dull and sad, and then when they leave, they're super happy. That's like very rewarding to me.
I remember this was a few months back when I was engaged. My fiance had gone to the stylist, and she's like, "Oh, she invited me out because they're doing this, that." I'm like, "Okay, you know, I think you look great, but hey, whatever you want to do, go for it."
Yeah.
And she sent me the first photo, and I was just like, I was at a loss for words because I'm like, I know that's her, and I love her, but like now it's just like
Another level.
like whoa, like it was like my heart was coming out my chest. I'm
yeah,
like,
those transformations are pretty insane.
yeah,
I love
and like
it.
you create those on a daily basis.
And it's so exciting. You're like, yes, I did that. Sometimes I still like at the finished product of someone's hair, I'm like, wow. Wow, I'm good at this. Like I just have that moment where you're like, I did that.
I'm gonna pat my own back.
Yeah.
Good
Like
job,
this looks
Nina.
amazing. Yeah, so no, I love that part of it. It's like that's probably my favorite thing.
So where do you like where does like your inspiration come from to like what you do in stylus?
So like for why or just
Like where do you draw inspiration from?
oh, okay. I don't I mean, I watch a lot of other like celebrity stylists. That's like most of I don't know. I don't know where it just comes from me. I guess I'm constantly online looking and at whatever's trending or whatever techniques are trending or just other stylists that are already famous and you get a lot of that. The person that I assisted under, his name's Clint Torres. He now is like a celebrity stylist in California.
Nice.
So he pretty much like taught me the majority of like what I know in the very beginning. He gives me a lot of inspiration. I mean, he's just like an amazing human being as well as like super talented. So
hmm
watching his growth and all of that and seeing what he's doing, I'm always like, okay, don't give up. It's never too late. Don't give up on your dreams because you still have those moments where like maybe I should do something else.
So let's go to the topic at hand where like when I messaged you in regards to like, hey, Nina, congratulations, I saw your nomination. Like what went through your head at that point when
Boy, I honestly didn't even know. So you were the one who showed me, and I was like, "Oh, cool." And then I don't know. I was just like, wonder who likes me. That's honestly my first thought. I was like, "Ooh, look, somebody likes me." No, but I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. I mean, I'm obviously making someone happy for
yeah.
that. So that's exciting.
because like the process for nomination, it's pretty. You have to like dive into it. It's not just like, oh, I nominate her. No, like you have to go to the website. You
Like,
have
it's like a
to
long thing.
you have to log in. You have to give your information, and then you have to literally type in the person's name on who you're nominating. And and you were I think you were like towards the top of the list, or
Maybe
I
don't
can't
know.
remember.
It's kind of all broken up. I don't know how the order of that was because there's a couple of people from my salon on there, so I'm not sure how it works.
But I mean, it's still pretty cool to be like to be
Yeah.
nominated because, yeah, one, someone likes you.
Yeah.
Two, someone took the time to nominate you because they appreciate and value your art and your creativity.
I did get a couple texts after the fact that they're like, I voted for you because you're a great stylist, but you're also very cool. I'm like, I'm coolness.
Who the hell is that, Nina? And I'm kidding.
I'm like, oh, I don't know. No, but I like it. I'm excited. Winning or not, it's just cool to be on there.
No, it always is, and I know your salon as well, and like you had a couple of your colleagues who are nominated as well.
Yeah, we're like a pretty popular salon, so definitely most people in Orlando go there. I feel like even at points where I've met people and they're like, "Oh yeah, I go to so and so at your salon," so we do get a nice following.
And what's the name of your salon, and where is it located?
Leal Marston Salon. It's in downtown. It's Camden North. But it used to be the 420 building.
Okay.
We're like underneath that. So it's technically like Lake Ave and Church, kind of near that Publix.
So it's still near the Publix.
You go further, you go past it. I'm not very good at directions, but
it would have helped if you had the address.
I have the address. I do know the address. It's 420 East Church.
Okay, 420 East Church Street.
But technically it's facing Lake Ave. Near where all those like retirement
yes,
are, like we're right across from all of that.
Okay, so yeah, you're basically like in that quiet side of downtown, like where everything kind of just like starts.
More like kind of like
down.
Thornton Park, whatnot, but like over there. I guess it's considered.
And I'm putting up your IG right there because I do follow you. I think I follow you on multiple platforms because as a personal my personal Instagram, my podcast Instagram, and you got some amazing photos on there, whether it's your adventures or the hair that you're styling. It's honest to God, like if I were into hair, literally, if I were into hair, I would draw inspiration from your work.
Thank you. Yeah, I also I like the whole film and all of that aspect, so that definitely helps with my job. Mm-hmm. But the content's there. I'm creating it. It's real. That's me. Yeah.
So like where do you see yourself like moving forward now? Like do you feel like you're gonna at one point want to open your own salon, or
so that's like a transition that I've been doing a lot of like just self-healing and trying to actually plan for the first time in my life because I've never been good about it. And I'm 30 years old now, so we're like running out of time.
Yeah.
So I'm like, let me figure out what I want. Yeah, I think I would want that. I'm planning some things that I can't say here, but
fair.
Yeah, long term, I would love to open something for myself. But I'm literally like in the middle of a whole. Either I'm gonna like accomplish something in 6 months or take a whole new path, possibly leaving Orlando.
Oh wow!
Yeah, but
but a bombshell.
Yeah. So, but hopefully we'll see. I don't know.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I don't even know. But I'm just trying to figure it out. I definitely love what I do and don't want to ever quit that completely, and I won't. I don't know. I've lived here my entire life. I'm like feeling an itch to like do something somewhere else.
No, I feel you. I had that itch a couple years ago, and next thing you know, boom, I'm here in Orlando.
Where were you from before?
Chicago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And that was a little bit forced because I was a kid, but then I ventured out of state, out of country. I did a lot of traveling, and I would still come back here because I've built a great network and great friends down here. But at the same time, what else is out there? What opportunities have I not?
And I was just like this barber that I follow. It's like a famous barber, but he was even posting something saying pretty much like sometimes you have to get out of your hometown and like really be forced into, I guess, a struggle, even if you're at like a really good standing point here for like major growth, which who knows? I don't know, but just things I've been thinking about.
No. Fair. And I got to tell you this. I know we've been communicating a little back and forth for the past few weeks, and finally being able to set this up. I'm so thankful that you came in, and I know we confirmed this morning, just like the whole back and forth. And I felt bad because I was wanting to communicate with you before I left.
Yeah.
And then my phone died, and then all this shit happened, and I'm like,
okay.
I do whatever the show. I want to talk to her. Please, don't cancel, don't cancel. But I'll as we're wrapping up, like, what are your final thoughts? Like, what do you want people to know about you? What do you want to say? I'm not asking any questions. The microphone is yours.
Okay, let's think here. Final thoughts. I mean, I feel like I covered a lot of it. If you would like to get your hair done, you have my IG.
We'll put that back up.
Yeah, put it back up. Who knows? Something else could come along with that Instagram as well. Pretty soon. So yeah. But no, I don't know. I think I covered it. I like the city. I like doing hair in the city. Our salon's incredible. Everyone I work with is really amazing. You have like a very like family oriented relationship there. Yeah. I don't know.
Well, okay.
That's all I can think of right now. I'm working on limited mind space.
So when you have a chance to go to vote.orlandoweekly.com.
Oh yeah, vote for me.
Vote for Nina right there for best local hairstylist. Give us a vote for best local podcast. Patricia.
And our salon is on there as well for best salon.
There you go. Boom. Vote for
Leal Marston Salon.
Yeah. Leal Marston Salon for best local salon as well. And of course, the local radio voice that I am heavy hitters with other huge guys in Orlando with the radio station, stuff like that. I'm just having fun with it, and it's cool to get nominated as well. Let's see what happens. Also, I got the best influencer. Also, Golden Eye Entertainment for trivia.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's been a fun year.
You're all over there.
I'm a social whore.
I love it. I love it.
But as my final thoughts getting out of here today, take a break.
Yes.
Once in a while, you need to let go of everything you're doing, of everything you're working on, because you don't realize. Sometimes you won't realize that you're overwhelmed, and the next thing you know, it'll be the straw on the camel's back that doesn't break the camel's back; it breaks you. And I had an experience last week that it opened my eyes, and I made the decision to just disconnect, reset, and rethink a lot of things in my life, and I'm glad I did, because at the end of the day, I was able to fix everything that was wrong in my life, and now I am way happier, and I contribute all that to just taking a break.
Yeah, you have to disconnect.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm like, you have to disconnect or you'll go nuts.
Yeah. And you don't want to see me go nuts. And we don't want to see Nina go nuts. So
no.
As always, if you're not laughing, you're not living. Live every day to the fullest, but always do it with a side of chaos. And I'll see you guys next week.